Oh God, hang on. Sorry about that. Guys, what's up? I'm back with another video here to do a review on the latest episode of Power Rangers, the new season of Power Rangers Dino Fury, which debuted yesterday morning. Before I get into this, I don't know why the time slot is still at 8 because a lot of people are sleeping in on Saturday. So why not just move it back to 12? I don't understand. I I, I'm gonna have to record all of these and watch them back later because I get up later on through, through the day. But whatever. Okay, let's get into this. I don't even remember the name. It's gonna take me a while to memorize a lot of this stuff, like the Hitchmen's names and the the villains and the city names and stuff like that, just because it's a new season. Okay, but getting into this, the Amelia, excuse me, we see a girl named Amelia. She works at this like news reporting news station or whatever, like Buzz Buzz something. I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically their version of BuzzFeed, and she works as a reporter. And she did a installment on a glow in the dark lipstick or lip balm or whatever the hell it is, and she is looking for a new article to write on, and it's about ghosts in that's located in Dinohenge. And when she goes there, she runs into uh Amelia. She runs into Ollie. Alia. I think that's his name. Ali. Alia. Alia. Oh crap! I can't remember the guy's name. Um, but they befriend each other. Introduces her to his mother, and we see a little bit of the park ranger. He kind of reminds me of Detective Stone from Zeo. I have a feeling that's where they're kind of going to go with that, but I'm not entirely sure yet. But I have a feeling he's gonna have like a similar role to like a Detective Stone or something. Um, but um, they take cover after they see a monster Void Knight arrives, and he detects an energy source. And I was expecting him to blast a hole right through the ground and walk in. I thought uh, maybe it would be like located in some sort of cave or something like that, but uh, this works just as better. But they follow him into the underground location, and that's where he runs into Solon, who's a dinosaur from millions of years ago, and he's threatening her, looking for an energy source, and she's not giving in. And before he could do any real damage to her, um, that's when Amelia and Olia. I I hope that's his name. Like I said, it's gonna take me a while to remember the names, but they interfere and they save her. And right before they can get Void Knight intercepts them and turns the Hitchman on. However, they're able to defend themselves de- defend themselves, and thanks to Solon, they get the keys to the morph they get the keys to the swords, and they morph up. And they so far they're looking so good. And then that's when the Red Ranger wakes up from his sleep or his slumber or whatever you want to call it, or his frozen chronic chamber, and he helps the other two Rangers out. and however the sporks escape out of the box, and so does Void Knight. However, after all of this, um, the Red Ranger introduces himself to Amelia and Olia, and it turns out his name is Zato, and he's an alien from outer space from like millions of years ago, and he's telepathic and reading minds. He kind of reminds me of. Uh, Actually, no, I'm gonna save it for later for my ups and downs, but um, it turns out that millions of years ago that uh, um, the the aliens or whatever that the sporgs that invaded his planet billions of years ago attacked his planet, and there was only a few survivors left, and he was one of them. And they were given um, the powers of the they, he was given the powers of the dinosaurs from the Dino Knights or whatever you want to call them, and the rest of his team were destroyed, and he was the only one that was left. Him and Solon, and they were able to survive for millions of years later. And at the end, they're it looks like they're joining the team, and he's going to train them to successfully become Power Rangers. So yeah, this was pretty for a season premiere. This was better than I thought. I didn't really have high hopes going into it, but I had to rewatch the episode to refresh my memory because I didn't really remember a lot of it um, going into this video. So I just had to rewatch it to refresh my memory. But the ups and downs of this episode, okay, five ups and one down. Let's number five. Less is more, and when I say less is more, I mean comedy. And the Park Ranger, I have a feeling he's kind of gonna have to do with something comedic wise, kind of like Detective Stone with Bulk and Skull, and the the music that they play in the background when they do when you know something comedic is coming is really annoying. But the way they did it here, they didn't try to force feed it to us, if that makes sense. And yeah, they didn't really shed a whole lot of light on it, and I'm glad they just gave us like a little bit. Number four, we got a unmorph fight scene. Anytime we get an unmorph fight, it's awesome. And I think we should be getting more of them. We have been getting more of them since Hasbro took it over, and ever since Beast Morphers, we've been getting a lot of them. Maybe every episode or every other episode. Um, but yeah, I hope to see more unmorph fights. Number three, the Void Knight. The Void Knight is badass, and he is. We haven't seen all of what he can do, but from what I've seen so far, he is a badass, and probably is going to be one of my favorite things about the season, even though we're just one episode in. Number two, the connection to the Boom comics. Now with the whole how the original Rangers got their powers, that was a connection to the comics. Um, and what's his name? Dawson Rider actually said something about this in one of his videos. Is that they made a connection to this. They actually mentioned this in Mighty Morphin in like episode 7, season 1, which maybe I have to go back and watch it and maybe I have to read the Boom Studio comics, but the costumes look the exact same. But let me know if I should read the comics because I've only read a couple of them, but I don't know a whole lot about the the whole backstory of that. Uh, and number one, Zato's backstory. And Zato's backstory is really interesting. It kind of darkish. Kind of reminds me of Andros. Like when he first shows up, Andros, he saves the other Rangers, but it's like in um, Andros, what's his name? Andros' best friend Zane. He's in a chronic chamber or whatever, and it's like how he end up there? Was he damaged in a battle or something? So Zato's backstory kind of reminds me a little bit of Andros and Zane. He reminds me of Andros because of course, where he came from, his backstory and all that, and kind of reminds me of Zane just because of how long he's been asleep and that he was wounded in a battle for his life, saving his home planet. And maybe they'll elaborate on that a little more, but so far, um, I've seen a lot of connections between Zato's backstory and Andros' backstory. As far as the downs, there's only one down for this episode. Well, this is just regarding the season overall, but I'm not a fan of the theme song. The theme song is whack. As soon as I heard it when they first posted it, I was like, wow, this is another go-go theme. How surprising. How are you supposed to stand apart from all the other seasons if you keep doing the same theme with uh except go-go power except the Mighty Morphin theme, it's whatever season it is in the title, in the theme song. I think that's just kind of lazy and just remixing it. That's just really lazy. But yeah, I automatically muted it when I watched it the first time and when I rewatched it a second time, just because I didn't want to hear it. But other than that, I don't really have any complaints about this so far. Dino Fury so far has been really interesting. I can't wait to see what they do more. I'm still walking on eggshells about this series because after everything with the Neil Saban era that we had to go through, it's hard to go in a Power Rangers season not thinking that the season is going to be terrible. Because usually they start off great, they start off here and they go here. But they never start off here and stay here. Except for Beast Morphers, aside from them having a lot of filler. But yeah, that's what I think. Let me know what you guys think of this episode. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What do you think of this as the season premiere? What do you think of Boy Knight as a villain? What do you think of Zatos' backstory? What do you think is going to happen next? Let me know in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video.